Hey everybody, welcome to Shark Jump Inc. I'm Corey.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Shelby.
And today we're talking about the best Harrison Ford movie, Blade Runner. Yeah, that's right, at me. Alright everybody, welcome to our Blade Runner review. I will apologize in advance to anybody who clicked on this video expecting a Blade Runner 2049 review. That is coming Tuesday. However, today we were reviewing the original 1982 Blade Runner. Because this movie came out in 1982, we're going to be talking about some pretty big spoilers for the original Blade Runner. So if you want to catch up on that movie before 2049, I advise you do so, then come back to this video, and then go see Blade Runner 2049. And as you can tell in the thumbnail, I was fooling with this piece of paper in like the origami fashion, like he does in the movie, and I made a snake. Just an interesting aside, nothing to do with the actual video. So today, Shelby, you like Blade Runner a lot.
I do.
Some, including yourself, would say that it's your favorite movie.
Yes, I've said that in the past.
Yeah, okay. I would say that it's also one of my favorite movies of all time. Caleb, on the other hand, Caleb just saw it for the first time recently in order to catch up on Blade Runner 2049. So once again, if you want to catch up, do it now. Be Caleb.
Anyway, I recommend catching up.
So Caleb has an interesting perspective on Blade Runner because he's seen it the once and he's seen it very recently.
Yep.
So he's a little different than us.
Fresh in my mind.
Yeah. So Shelby,
Yes.
your favorite movie, you get to start today.
Yes. Yeah, it's my favorite movie. I might have some biases, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But just to be clear, I love almost everything about this movie. There's one major flaw, but we're not going to get into that too much. But at least me right now, I want to talk about the stuff I love, which is I love the world in it. It's probably the most realistic world that we've seen in any sci-fi movie and almost any movie. And so the production design and the visual effects it really helped to that and influenced a lot of sci-fi movies after that, like The Matrix and Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
It really holds up for the early 80s, the
Yeah.
visual effects and the production design.
Definitely, especially when a lot of those films from the 80s don't hold up quite as well. But besides that, Ridley Scott's direction is fantastic. I mean, he had great sci-fi directorial chops in Alien, but this really shows his wonders here. And it also has great performances, mainly from Harrison Ford, who I think this is a great different performance from him, in that he plays more of a noir protagonist that shows a more dark side to Harrison Ford, where he's usually just the charming rogue guy. At least at this point in his career. And then you also get a great performance from Rutger Hauer as the movie's villain, and this was his kind of breakout role.
His breakout into kind of obscurity today.
Yeah.
It was a great role back then, though. I'm also a huge fan of Blade Runner. There's the major flaw you're talking about. There's one scene about the midpoint having to do with the love story that really doesn't encompass like the modern rules of consent, and so that's a really awkward scene to watch today. But besides that, this is pretty much a masterpiece to me. It's a flawed masterpiece. It has a few issues. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Like you said, Ridley Scott's direction is amazing. The movie looks great, and like there's just shots in here that are insane. The colors are.
Take a breath and continue.
Yeah, and there's also some great work by like some character actors like Edward James Olmos and
Brianna James.
I think it's Brian, but yeah.
Sorry, my mistake.
Whatever.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. I think you covered everything else.
All right. Now, as we discussed, they both love it, and I have a slightly different opinion. I agree with Shelby. I love the world. The world is absolutely amazing. As you said, it's probably one of the most realistic sci-fi worlds in a movie. Decker, who played by Harrison Ford, I like him. I don't love him, and he's the only character that I really like in it. Everyone else, I'm just kind of like about. The main antagonist. He's interesting. I do like him enough, but
You don't empathize with his like
I do
search for like
I do
mortality?
empathize, but like for me, it's not until the very end that you empathize with him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so like that's like throughout like the most of the movie, I didn't really care for him until it got to the end, and then I was like, okay, like I do understand like your thing now. But anyway, I don't love the story. Other than like as you said, like the whole like empathizing with him at the end. I do acknowledge that it is a masterpiece, and I can understand why it's a masterpiece. I understand that it's had great influences on like other movies like The Matrix and so on. And as you talked, there are also like it's a beautiful movie, like especially for the time, it is a beautiful movie. There are also just like some good shots in it. I do like the little, or I appreciate, and I do like it some the like kind of hidden story in it that Decker might be a
Yeah, I was about
replicant,
to bring that up.
and like it's like hinted at throughout the story. There's only like I think maybe like 3 or 4 things that kind of like have you hint towards it. And whenever I finished it, there are 3 versions of the film. I should probably state that there's the original one, the theatrical, and it has like this kind of like narration that it's not done well at all. It really kind of throws off the movie, and it doesn't really like just fit.
Yeah.
Then there's the director's cut, which removed that and like cleaned up some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think it also added the
ambiguity.
Yeah. And then there's the final cut, which kept the narration, all that out of it, and just cleaned up the director's cut. And that's the version I saw. So having only seen that version, I finished the movie with a lot of questions because there are stuff, and Corey doesn't necessarily agree with me, there are stuff that is told in the narration that you need to know, and if you don't watch the version with the narration, you don't get that stuff. So like like I left with not problems, with questions, more questions than I had when I started. And so I then later like looked up, saw the stuff, like I didn't know the whole like the replicant, like him Decker being a replicant, like just kind of like went over my head, and I didn't even catch it until I like was looking up stuff about the movie, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. I actually do like, I like that as a thing. But still, all in all, like the story, I'm not like hugely in love with. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate what it's done and what it is.
Yeah, how I feel about, I just feel like the narration really offsets the tone and the mood of it, and like I kind of feel like all the information is it's extra information or it's obvious, so like I just don't feel like it's needed.
Yeah.
But another thing I forgot to bring up is like the themes of like existence, and like it's a real like heavy movie that's about mortality and what it means to be human, and it's so much more than it is at surface level, and that's why it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, agree.
Saying that, I think we can go ahead and start reviewing it and wrap this.
Just one last thing.
Okay.
Just that we didn't cover Vangelis's score.
How did we not cover the score?
I believe it's Vangelis. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but
Or Vangelis.
But yeah, his score is fantastic and really fits the mood of this movie. And that's all I have to say.
This is like a little joke I thought of, but like I was gonna say, there's no way Decker can't be a robot because with all the alcohol that he drinks, his liver would be destroyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and his alcoholism, they really like drive me. Like, yeah, he's an alcoholic. Like he drinks.
That man can drink.
Yeah.
Shall we start talking? So Caleb, why don't you get this negativity out of the way?
Right. As we've stated, it's a masterpiece, but it's flawed, and so. But again, I appreciate it for what it is. So I'm at like a 7.8.
9.8.
No.
Oh.
No. I'm like a 7.8. Maybe I'll give it an 8 because I could still watch it again. That's a good thing about it is you can watch it multiple times and learn new things when you're watching it. And yeah, that's a big thing for movies with me is like rewatchability.
It's definitely a movie. I feel like if you watch it more, you'll learn to appreciate appreciate it more. And over time, maybe not as much as us.
Maybe 8.5.
Yeah, but maybe not as much as us. But I feel like you'll like it more.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. Like this is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah. I understand there are some things about it, but I just love this movie so much, and I love what it stands for. Maybe not in the genre of like sexual politics, but like just what this movie stands for theme wise, and just visually, and just influences on everything. I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, just going off yours. I mean, it's probably my favorite movie, so I have a big bias with it, but I'm gonna have to go 10 out of 10. It's it's it lays the groundwork for a lot of sci-fi movies we have today, and it's not even just that. It's just a lot of great. There are a lot of great things in this movie. Harrison Ford's performance, Ridley Scott's direction, the visual effects, art, production design, everything about that. And also, I would recommend the final cut, but admittedly, I might also recommend the theatrical cut
Yeah.
just in case you want some narration. I don't think the narration is necessary, and I know Corey doesn't either.
I feel
But-
very strongly about that.
Yeah, but for those who who feel like they might not know what's going on, I think the narration might be necessary. But I think the final cut is the best version because it's the most aesthetically pleasing, and it is the best tone wise and
Clears
shows
everything up.
and clears everything up.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's it.
Kind of just stopped.
Here's everything up, comma, dot, dot, dot.
Yeah. So, yeah, you said a 10 out of 10? Or did you
Mhm.
review it? Yeah, 10 out of 10. So that'll wrap us up for today. Check us out on social media, Shark Jump Inc. on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
Website.
Google Plus, sharkjumpinc.com.
Mhm.
Not a social media, but check out our website.
Mm.
We paid for it and
It
everything.
looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
Such a clean website.
It's like Ridley Scott did it. It just looks beautiful.
Right.
Such a visually pleasing website. Anyway, so yeah, that'll wrap us up today. And as always, we are Shark Jump Inc.
If
Hey,
we're all
everybody.
doing this-
Oh, Shelby, where's my invitation to the pity party?